Welcome to the 330 To Go Sports Talk Show on Northeast Ohio's hottest and fastest growing news and entertainment media network.
Good morning, 330. We are here with the Sports Talk Show. It is Tuesday, January 23rd, and we are back, as always, like we are doing this every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Before we even get off, anybody who's watching, do me a favor. I need you to go like, share, comment, call in. We need to start getting that going, but like and share. If you're watching, you have to like and share it. That's just rude if you don't, right? So a lot of things going on in sports. As you know, we always get it right into high school. We talk NBA, we're talking the NFL. But over the weekend, I want to start this off a little bit different because we're a sports talk show. And in the past, I've worked with the high school football show. And obviously, we just focused on high school football. Not the case. We're a sports talk show. We want to encompass everything in our community all around 330. So just like any of you guys who has a huge text thread with a bunch of friends, I have one just like anybody else. So I'm normal in some sense. We're sharing stuff back and forth. We've got a couple of friends. I have friends that live in Donna, Virginia, obviously up in here, and they're all over the place. Stark County, Summit County, Wayne County, Portage, we're all over the place. So a friend of mine sends me this article and I, finally get around to reading it and it hits home. So prior to being a realtor and acting like I can sell houses, I used to work with special needs. This is right at home. I also had the opportunity back then to coach Special Olympics. And my buddy sends this, so I'm reading this article, and it's about Wayne County Special Forces. This team, middle school, they had kind of picked up the idea that he wanted to encompass this and get these kids involved and really give an opportunity for any individuals with any type of special needs to be able to have the same opportunities as anybody else. Isn't that what we're at in this day and age, is trying to encompass everybody? So as I'm reading it, why it doesn't hit me off the rip was I got to bring them on. So I'm trying to butcher the whole story, but there was a great article written by the Daily Record. If you want to look it up, I'll have him plug it as well. But I'm going to go ahead and bring on the man that is definitely helping aid this situation. So let me give you a sec here. And there he is. So we have Officer Nate Samples. Nate, how are you doing this morning?
I am doing amazing. How are you doing?
Dude, I'm doing great. I get to have you on. You always wonder if I work or anything like that. You're seeing it. So yeah. But you work not only, what's your day job? What's your day job?
I am the school resource officer for Chippewa local schools in Wayne County, Ohio.
All right. So you're doing that by day, but in the evening, what do you got going on?
I see this. A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything?
Oh, absolutely. On top of coaching the special forces, just daily life.
Daily life? Yeah. Special forces. Tell me about how it started.
Absolutely. So, like you, we were very blessed in getting into Special Olympics at a young age, right out of high school. I kind of lost my way for a while, and it took being a torch runner for the law enforcement torch run every year to get me back into it. I was blessed there when I was at Barberton and now at Chippewa and Doylestown PD that I actually kind of took the next step and became the assistant state director for the law enforcement torch run. And I got to go around to all these conferences and talking to all these amazing athletes from not just Ohio, but from all over the country. And all of these athletes I talked to, their big thing was, I wish I would have started earlier. And it kind of clicked after this last conference in Chicago that I'm going to do this. We're going to do this in Wayne County. And I went to one of my friends at Chippewa Schools. Her name's Brittany Schumacher. Congratulations, Brittany, on recently getting married. I was the minister. And
there's a nice plug. All right.
Yeah, I said, hey, Britt, what do you think about this? And she said, let's do it. And from there, I sent out an email to all Wayne County schools saying, hey, here's my idea. What do you guys think of it? Norwayne local schools was awesome. And of course, Chippewa, they were awesome with it. And they said, let's do it. So our athletes are comprised of kids from not just Chippewa local schools, but also Norwayne local schools, which is pretty amazing. You bring in two groups of kids together that, have never met each other. And to say they have become a team is an understatement. We always talk about family in sports. You know that better than I do. And my team has become quite the family. And actually, we had recently my starting point guard and my starting center went to the dance together.
Is that baby? That's Baby Shaq?
That's Baby Shaq. Yes,
that's Baby Shaq. I did see it. If you guys haven't, again, I'm with Nate Samples. He's resource officer, also working with Wayne County Special Forces. He's doing some great things down there. In the article that was by the Daily Record, he mentions Baby Shaq. So that's the reason, if you're not kind of following along, how that came about. So with that being said, so how'd the game go on the 18th?
Oh, it went very well. Very well. It was, the big thing is from day one, there's options in Special Olympics. There's, we could do, a dribbling thing or, just a skills competition. My kids aren't about that life. They want to compete. And our way of competing is just getting out on that court as a team, and whatever the score says at the end, we don't care. We're out there to compete. We're having fun. So we've had 4 or 5 games where we've competed, we've had fun, and the level where we started to where we're at now, it's unbelievable.
It's that big picture mentality. Being able to.
It truly is. And having 2 great communities like Chippewa and Norway have the ability for them to see what me and you have seen through Special Olympics forever. For them to see it is just, it's kind of nice to, it's humbling. The first time you see it, man, it's the first time we played a game, I had to look over at Britt and I said, pull your stuff together. Because she was it was Niagara Falls. Sorry, Britt. But it was just, it's how the world should be. It truly is.
Yeah, man, it's the simple things. It's the reasons that we forget why we play sports. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard says a lot of the times, even though that us competitive by nature people, that's what we're concerned about. It's seeing those moments of those smiles. And here we are, we might be upset our kid didn't score 20 points, and 2 points to somebody is worth a lifetime. So
it's like winning the Super Bowl, man.
So what do you guys got coming up? How does it how does the rest of the season look? How many more games?
Right now, we have no more games. And the drawback with this, Matt, and this is where you might be able to help me out, is the drawback with school-age children, school-age teams like the Special Forces. We are the only team in northeastern Ohio.
Yeah.
All the school districts, Cleveland, Akron, Barberton, all these school districts, nobody has a school-age team. So when we had our school-age games, we had to go down to Columbus to play other school-age teams. And I'd really like to see that grow from not just one team. Hey, maybe next year we have 2 teams. Maybe an Akron team, a Cleveland team, a Youngstown team. There's so much opportunity. All it takes is 8 kids on a team, and some of our big school districts are
No, some of those ideas for that. I mean, I know when I coached, I did adult. So with the school age, a little different, maybe hitting down to the school board, going down to those seminars they have in Ohio to present what you guys are doing. So other schools will gravitate towards that idea. Maybe.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, man, the good part is you're doing it right now. You're doing it there. And it's inspiring to people, and that's what people want to see. These are the feel-good stories. Yeah. So that's why I wanted to make sure I had you on, because nobody really likes listening to me. So I need something good, to be able to talk about. Oh yeah, Nate. I'm not using. That's a really bad word. It looks really bad right now how I said that.
So now I got a question for you, Matt.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
On February 24th.
Okay.
What are you doing?
You're not setting me up with that. I'm not jumping in the water. No.
Come on, bro.
No, you see this heat escapes very quickly right here. So I don't, but I know. But go ahead and plug that. Please tell me what you're talking about.
In Cleveland on February 24th, we're doing a polar plunge for Special Olympics. We're having the voice of the Cavs there. It's right in between the Cavs and the Guardians Stadium and Gateway Plaza. It's a huge fundraiser for Special Olympics Ohio. And like you know, Matt, we have over 20,000 athletes in Special Olympics Ohio, and we're able to offer this stuff to them for free. But that ain't free. Sometimes we need to jump in some water. So there we go.
Thanks a lot, Joe. I showed it.
Yep. Special Olympics Ohio. Go to that webpage.
But maybe what we'll do, maybe we'll look at something, trying to get some coverage up there for it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Something along that lines. Any other plugs you want to give, Nate, before we let you go? Just because we got a little bit of, it's only so much time for this. I could talk to you all morning.
Absolutely.
But any other plugs you want to get before you get out of here?
No, I just want to thank Chippewa schools, Norwayne schools, all my parents, all my coaches, Coach Britt, her husband, Sammy Pettit, who's a junior in high school at Chippewa, who's a coach for us. Just the whole community that came out and supported us this year. And people like you, man, that you get it. And, not a lot of people have been exposed to it, but hey, it's one little step.
It's nothing, man. I'm happy to be able to do it. It's a privilege to be able to talk about it. That's why definitely, I like bringing that kind of stuff up on here and bringing light to that. Nothing but respect for everybody down there. Respect for you. I appreciate what you're doing. Nate, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us today here on the 330 To Go Sports Talk Show.
My pleasure, buddy.
Take care, man. Have a great rest of the day.
I'll see you guys.
See you, man. Well, there you guys have it. That was Nate Samples with Chippewa doing some big things. Wayne County Special Forces again. You heard what he said. The 24th, they're going to be jumping into a frozen tundra. And he tried to set me up thinking that I would be silly enough to jump in there. Nobody wants to see me jump in water, even though we had Joe on here say he'll donate if I jump in. I think they've outlawed whaling in Ohio, so I might be safe. I don't want to get harpooned by anything as I get close to those waters. All right, so let me jump in here, guys, and get us back on track a little bit with our normal routine morning. Let's see here. We got banners. I'm going to go ahead and put these up. Here's some of the games from last night. Cavs Magics getting after it. This Sam Morrell kid from Cleveland is a nice player. He's had 26 last night. They beat up on them. Cavs are getting on a roll. I'm starting to get excited. Because I know I have to. The NFL's starting to wrap up. I said that last time. Starting to get excited about the Cavs for sure. We'll hopefully jump back into them. Just trying to keep it along here. High school sports. Brush 55 over St. V 54. Aquinas picks up a win over Southeast 59-51. CVCA gets back on their winning ways with a 58-53 win over Canton South. Carrolton over Marlington 68-62. The Federal League was weird because I say that simply because we had the boys and the girls literally playing each other left and right this weekend. It was weird how it ended up working out. But we had McKinley 80 over Lake 61, GlenOak 69 to Perry's 35. So the Eagles picking up one over there over the Panthers. Jackson beating Hoover 56-37, and Smithville wrapping it up for the boys 50-31. Over to the girls. Ellet 61, North 30, Chippewa 58, Dalton 30. So we talked about Chippewa before. We just had Nate on here, and there's Chippewa again picking up a big win for the girls. Wadsworth 55 over Nordonia 20, Norton 49 over Woodridge 41, Highland beating out Roosevelt 72-45, Tallmadge beating Aurora 58-45. Now here's where it gets interesting. I said something about the Federal League. McKinley beat Lake in the men's, and the Lake Blue Streak ladies decided that wasn't going to happen. They're going to go take the Bulldogs down 58-45. So we flipped that. And then it happens again with Perry and GlenOak. The Lady Panthers, they pick up a win 47 over the Lady Eagles with 42. Jackson stayed consistent on both of those. They get a win from the boys and the girls because the girls won 49-39 over the Hoover Viking ladies. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just moving something out of the way there. All right. So with that being said, we're talking high school, and like Nate had mentioned, people are just get crazy about sports. And I saw a few people on here even saying, it's all about the kids. Adults forget that carries over as well. Why do we play high school sports? Why did you play high school sports? I know why I played it. It kept me out of trouble. That's why my kids, that's why I forced, there it is. I just said it. And everyone's like, oh, he forces his children. Oh, what a bad father. No, I just do it to keep them out of trouble. I think that by having that interactive, so everyone uses sports for a certain reason. If you've got a take on why, you played or why you think kids should play or why sports is beneficial, with Officer Nate, he was saying that that's bringing a community together. They don't care about scores. They're literally, it could be 10-2. We've seen those games. I mean, if anybody had their kids playing in kindergarten at the Y and you're like, oh my gosh, we totally won this weekend. It was a big win, 6-4, but they don't care. That to me is the beauty of sports. It challenges you. Without losing, you're not going to know how to win. It's plain and simple. There are people that win and they don't know how to win. The way they act, the way they carry themselves. So I think it builds that demeanor in somebody. And it doesn't just have to be like in sports coverage. We're always covering football. Football is like America's sport, but high school sports doesn't always get the spotlight that I think it should. And when I thought about seeing that article and thinking about high school, and I'm like, there's other sports going on and we're not even touching base on any of them. So I'm going to attempt to try to do that. Full disclosure, I do not know 100% ever ins and outs of these sports, but I feel like there needs to be a spotlight brought to that. I can talk Browns and I'm happy to talk about that all the time, and the Cavs and our local, college and professional, but high school, I think that there's something to be that we're losing there. So with that being said, this past weekend, I'm out here in Green. I live out in Green. There was a wrestling tournament at Green High School, and I decided to pop right in. The Bulldog Brawl is what it's called. And it was impressive. It was very, very well ran. Enjoyed. I only got to stay for maybe like 45 minutes because I was actually in between. I was at a swim meet, so I was watching swimming. So we're going to start talking swimming too, which, it can be riveting. But I'll be honest with you, the parents that swim, if you think there's just crazy people at football games, I am here to tell you, I was at a plethora of sports this weekend, and there are crazy parents everywhere. We are the worst. Screaming, yelling, acting like fools. You know who you are. Raise your hand. Yeah, I'll raise mine because I'm one of them too. But at the gate or at the wrestling. So how it ended up shaping out, St. V ends up winning the whole thing and Walsh comes in second. So it goes off of a point scale system. And St. V had 219 to Walsh's 215. And GlenOak pulled it in at third at 185. A little bit of a drop off going there. But I think I want to definitely, and excuse me, I am going to look down as I'm doing this because I want to make sure I'm reading this right and I'm saying these names as correct because we all know I can't talk. So at weight 106, first place, Gavin Gruber from Walsh Jesuit picks up a decision 3-2 over Alex Daughtry from St. V. So credit to these guys. I'm just going to read the champs and then obviously the runner up to it. If you'd like to be able to look that up, I know that you can find this on the internet, look it up. It was the Bulldog Brawl at Green High School. So at 113, Dom Prosperi from Canton South got a fall over Joe Slater from Fairless. 120, Parker Pecor, late Catholic, picks up a decision 8-4 over Christian Osborne from St. V. At the 126, Evan Kutzmitz from Manchester. So if we had some Manchester people listen, picks up a decision 3-2 over Joel Brink, Green's very own. Credit. I've gotten the opportunity to know that Joel, he's a great kid. Impressive wrestler. He's a freshman. So I'm going to give him a little, it does actually say some of that. So any of the freshmen, I always like to be able to highlight them because they're wrestling potentially with seniors. That's a big difference. Same weight class, and I know everybody can talk about that. At least they weigh the same, but at the end of the day, it's not necessarily the same. Over to the 130 tour, Elijah Gervins from from Akron North picks up a decision 6-3 over Trevor Kootsmits. So we got Evan Kootsmits and Trevor, two brothers from Manchester. Obviously, that family knows what they're doing. That's always impressive when you see multiple, siblings placing in any sport. Taggart Wade, a ninth grader from St. V, picks up a decision 5-1 over Tyler Wiseman from Tusk Valley. That was at the 138. At the 144, we had Braden Dunlap from St. V over decision 6-1 over Luke Evansign Hine from Walsh Jesuit. I may have said that completely wrong. I probably did. I apologize. At 150, TJ Wilson from Tusk Valley has a pinfall at 245 mark over Carter Moore, ninth grader out of Manchester. And then at 157, Rylan Hurley from St. Vincent St. Mary picks up a fall at the 502 mark over Tristan Miller from Canfield. Congratulations. 165, Matt Galimo. I think I'm saying that way wrong. From Green picks up a default over Paul Hosteller at the 165 pound. At 175, Stephen Duffy of Woodridge picks up a win over Jonathan Sims of Brush. At the 190, Brock Sherman from Walsh Jesuit picks up a win over Jackson Eddy from Alliance. 215, Colin Sullivan of Fairless beats Bram Hostetler from Orville. And then at the 285, Andy Vanskoy from St. Vincent St. Mary picks up a win over GlenOak's Braylon Marr. So congratulations to all those wrestlers. If you're a wrestling person and it's something of interest, call in, talk. You guys know how it goes. Back to it. If you're watching, like it. If you're watching, share it. All right. It's the only way we're going to get out there. It's the only way we're going to expand this. And if you like what you're listening to, or you want to talk about something, call me. That's all you have to do. Just follow the prompts, go in the description, follow the link, pop on here. We'll talk some sports. So we wrapped up with high school basketball. We talked about wrestling tourney. Let's keep it going. Shout out, because I saw it, because again, I live out here, social media. Green and Walsh cheerleaders, they pick up like best in states. Again, full disclosure, I know nothing. I know nothing about how the rating system goes, any of that. But congratulations, ladies. No one gets noticed. It's always basketball. It's always those sports. Football during the fall, basketball takes over in the winter. And then, we get into spring, we get a little baseball, but we hear a little bit more about track. It's kind of funny how spring sports pop in there a little bit more, but trying to cover everything and be able to, bring recognition. But kudos to those ladies for picking up best in states. So if you haven't seen it, go follow it, talk about it. There you go. With the Cavs beating up on the Magic last night, there was another person who just beat up somebody last night, and it essentially was this animal. Joel Embiid, 70 points, 80 rebounds. If you can see it on the screen, he's right there. Thank you, Moon Man, for the graphic, being able to put that up. But the reason that this is significant, and we're even talking about, is he went against the rookie from San Antonio, Wemby, or Wembiana. I'm butchering that too. Whew. How many vowels would I have to buy to try to get that right? But the kid for Wemby had 33 points and like 7 rebounds. Thought that was really interesting. He only had 7 rebounds. The guy's 7'9" and basically should be able to rebound the ball from like half court by just extending out his go-go gadget arm. A specimen like nobody's ever seen in the NBA. But have to talk about Joel Embiid. 70 points is amazing. So congrats to him. That's absolutely astonishing that even happened. All right. So Browns, all that stuff. I want to jump into it. I think I'm going to steal 7'9", 189 pounds. So Joe had put 7'9", 189. So yeah, sure. He's lanky, he's thin, he's lean. He needs to eat more of the gristle off the steak, I guess. I don't know, put a little poundage on there. Come talk to me. I know how to find it. A lot of buffets, sushi. Sushi is always a tough one. So Andrew Berry jumps out. and he talks about everything and gives us nothing. Okay. He talks about how Nick Chubb would be happy to bring him back. He's got a tremendous amount of respect for Nick Chubb. Now it's at an all-time high of 20 because he was 1 out of 10. If you saw Andrew Berry's comments, this is his presser that he talked about. He talked about bringing potentially Flacco coming back, but I think that was just a generic statement because realistically, is he going to be able to do that with a monetary value? And I think that's always was an issue of why we didn't bring back. Who was the most previous quarterback? There was somebody else we could have brought back and we didn't. I just had a huge brain fart. All right. So I can't make a point with that because I cannot think of the name and I'm sounding like a moron right now. But regardless, he's thinking about bringing back Flacco. That was kind of like what we talked about last time. Jacoby Brissett. Thank you, Joe. Gosh, you are phenomenal. My boy is on it. So Jacoby Brissett was the reason we didn't bring him back. But you bring it back, you're opening up Pandora's box like I think we talked about last week. Is it really good to have Flacco sitting in the locker room and Watson struggles? And, I've been seeing some of the feeds and comments on like the 330 post and stuff about where we're going in the direction, and people are justifying Watson and people are bashing him. It's going to be a while. I mean, it's going to be a fun off season to be able to sit here and discuss and talk about this. And you want to be able to get through the Super Bowl, and then it's really going to heat up when you get into the draft and stuff. And what are the Browns going to do? Who are they going to re-sign? Who are they not? We could dive into that all day, any day. I'm going to save it for Thursday. I'll talk a little bit more Browns then, just because we'll be getting ready for the NFL for over the weekend. If you guys didn't see this weekend, your boy went 4-4 on them odds. So if you were listening to me and you bet the way that I told you to, you're probably not happy with me. The Texans did not even come close to covering that 9 that I talked about. And that total was not under 43.5. So I had said that 43.5 under. I was completely wrong about the Texans-Ravens game. CJ Stroud got pressured the way that I wish that the Cleveland Browns would have pressured him 2 weeks ago, but that is definitely not the case. And we saw what the Ravens did there. Ravens being the Ravens, they're going to be a tough out for sure for Kansas City, but that'll be a fun game to watch again. Niners. I said take the Niners -9. That was no bueno as well, but we did pick up the W on the under 50.5. So that was a plus. The Lions beat the Bucks. I said take the Bucks at 6.5. I'm a loser there as well, but we did get that over on 48.5. And then I just got the Chiefs Bills game right. I said take the Chiefs plus the 3, even money line them. They were golden, and you knew that was going over at 45.5. At one point, it got went up almost up to 70. The way that they were scoring, and then you get to the fourth quarter, and there's like no scoring at all, and you just saw the writing on the wall. And thank God for Travis's brother taking his shirt off. And I saw the best quote someone had put: "Why is it okay when he does it, but when I do it, it's my wife tells me it's time to go. Like it's frowned upon." Jason Kelsey does it, and the world is on fire. And they're like, "Oh, the sexiest man alive." Thank you. That guy's got a beer belly and a gut. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that back to reality. We're tired of 6-pack abs and all that. It's out. Jason Kelsey's body frame of roundness is in, and the guy's personality is amazing. Him and his brother, what they're doing right now with their little show and stuff, it's impressive. It really is. They're getting to go out there, and he's taking shots out of bowling balls with the Bills Mafia. Great stuff. I mean, just great stuff to be able to see, and how he's interacting with the fans, and just their support in his brother. I think that's the big thing. There's sports again. There's something else with sports. That's how sports brings the family together. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. We're talking about it again. That's all this is. This is people communicate with each other through an avenue of sports. And, you think of, like I mentioned, swimming. You jump in, you go down, it's just you against you. You're going against your personal time. I really don't know if swimmers can hear you underwater, but I am here to tell you there's not a swim parent that doesn't believe that their kid can hear them. And if you've ever been in an aquatic dome, it's so loud and you're almost like dazing off from the chlorine in your head. and you just smell that. And then there's the screaming, and it echoes. It doesn't even, I don't even know necessarily if it's screaming as opposed to just it's echoing off of the vibrations of the aquatic arena. It is so loud. So I really wonder if swimmers can hear it. I've asked my daughter, but she does a good job of just tuning me out to begin with. So I don't think she's going to give me an honest opinion, to be honest with you. With that being said, again, guys, if you're following, you're watching, like, share, please do that. If you're taking the time to see this and you're hearing, oh, hey, because I've ran a couple of people, hey, that's cool what you're doing on your show. And 3 weeks until pitchers and catchers report for spring. Katie, you are right. And I'm going to have to pick up. Katie had put this out. She had said 3 weeks until the pitchers and catchers report to spring training. That gives me 2 weeks and 6 days to prepare. Right. I got to get better with baseball. And what's crazy is baseball was the sport that I liked the most. But as far as professional, it's tough. There's too many changing names. There's people going up, down. I can't keep track of it. But you know who does keep track of that? Mike Voorhees. He does a little Guards cast. He'll be doing his show tomorrow, 2 p.m. He's supposed to come on here. He's going to give you his take. It's Katie. He's going to cover perfectly. Like Mike is the most detailed person in the stats, intricacies of all that. Not that I won't. I will definitely talk about it, but he will do a better job on default. Mike's just better. Mike's better at that. There's no doubt about it. He runs a podcast. He puts his little icon right up here, except today that icon says Matt McGall with Keller Williams Cervenic. So if you're thinking about buying a house, market, it's time. It's getting very active. Call me. Everybody knows a realtor, but you don't know me, right? So give me a call. Allow me to see what I can do for you. At the end of the day, just trying to help. There's my information that I'll be running there at the bottom. Phone numbers right there, email. You can also go to that website, gives a description of me. Like I had mentioned in there, it's a little bit talks about the years of experience of working in the social field. So having the opportunity to work for Summit DD for those amount of years that I did, it gives me the patience to be able to be the best realtor I can. And I'm just saying that in a joking way. So just trying to have fun and lighten it up as always. Coming back again on Thursday, 9 a.m. We'll definitely be discussing a lot of football on Thursday, getting ready for the weekend and preview coming up. Talk a little bit of those odds. We'll see if I can improve on this 500 that I put 4-4 together with the either taking the spread against the spread or betting on the totals, jumping on that. And then I didn't get a chance to get to it today, but there was a little bit of this golf thing that I had saw because I love golf. Anybody who knows me knows that I love to act like I can hit a golf ball. I can't. Full disclosure, I am horrible. I'm a hack. I am the G player. If you know how you have an A, B, and C, and D, I'm not even in those. I'm like the G. Hack attack. So I'm going to talk about that. There's a guy, he can golf both ways on left and right. That's crazy. So I had found it. I wanted to get into that. And then I didn't get a chance to, but the Caitlin Clark thing, that was rather interesting. I say that with a smirk and a smile because I feel like she ran into the person, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. But the Buckeyes had picked up a big win, the Lady Bucks over the Iowa Hawkeyes this past week. And I think the score was like 100-92. I think that's also, we will discuss that, show the video on Thursday. You guys can give me a take. Between now and then, 330. If you got something you want to talk about sports related, please don't hesitate. You guys know where it's at. It's in the description. Get your comments in, your questions ready for Thursday. And then again, like and share whatever social device that outlet you're using. If it's got something at the bottom, subscribe, follow, like, share, click them. Just click them all, highlight them all. It's like your dashboard on your car, when the low tire pressure comes on and then the oil comes on and then a new light. Sometimes you're just trying to light all those lights up on the dashboard. Do the exact same thing with your media outlet that you're watching this with right now. Click them all. That's the only way. I want to know that you're actually watching. So, guys, thank you so much as always for tuning in. Another show in the books. Thank you for allowing me to do this. You know, like it says right at the ticker. Thanks for thinking of me, guys. You're the best. I appreciate it. Thank you to Officer Nate Samples for coming on this morning and going over everything that he's doing out there in Doylestown. Amazing guy right there. So, again, big shout out to the Chippewa and Norway. It sounds like that's awesome. Two communities are able to come together, like he said. Nothing but good things today, guys. Nothing but great things for you. Looking forward tonight. If you are thinking about going to any basketball games, here's my top 5 games to go check out tonight. Uh-oh, where'd I put it? There's a good one going on. We got Massillon traveling over to Green. East is at Bookdo. So you, Akron City, okay, check that one out. Louisville is at Waterloo. Interesting game, I think, there. And Copley is at Barberton tonight. So the Magic trying to stay hot. And then the parochial school game of the night, Hoban is traveling out to Wyoga Lake to take on Walsh. So you looking for any sports tonight, basketball, go check those out. And again, guys, all right, here we go. Manchester versus Fairless. Go Panthers. Again, Joe, always active. Appreciate you. There's 6 games. Go check them out. You guys got no excuses. And then you got no excuses to be back here Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Thank you guys so much again for allowing me to get on here and talk. I really do appreciate it. And I am signing off. I got to get better with this. You guys take care. Have a great evening.